Good morning, investors. Welcome to the 15th of October 2014. Trade for the day is called SAB Miller and the code is SAB. Last traded price was R579.96. Action here is to trade in a long or a buy. So the objective is the dotted blue line here will be a price of R582.99. If it's been broken upwards, you could go to a target of R635.26 on the green line. Stop loss to be used is a level of R565.56. Current open trade is called SPAR, Steinhoff, African Minerals and First Rand. Looking at the top 40 index, this is the top 40 shares on the JSE. Blue line is still breaking down, that's the index movement of the top 40 shares, and is currently now testing the 5-day moving average on the dotted line as well as the 20-day moving average just underneath it. Looking at the Dow Jones, and that's the American Markets Index, as you can see they actually closed last night about 5 points lower, and they closed close to the level of 16,315 points. It's closed just underneath this red line here. Downward spiral, downward movement. Big question now, can you touch this and start breaking up? The futures are currently flat at this moment. Asian markets were a bit positive this morning, but also mixed. European markets could open a bit mixed this morning, but we need to see with the S&P 500 earnings that's coming out today how it could affect certain markets, and we could see a bit of volatility in the ups and down swings of the future prices of the Dow. Looking at the J200, that's the top 40 share index itself. Here's the down momentum at this moment, trading between the green and the purple Bollinger Bands physically downwards. Big question is, can you come and break this 42,610 points, break it upwards and start moving upwards? Currently trading at 42,500 on the close. So we need to track this closely to see if this is going to be still a downward channel or a start of a breakup. High, low, high, lower, high, lower, high. Now the big question is, if you can break this level here on 43,000, then you could most probably see upward movement back to the 44,000. That's almost 1,000 points. So we need to track this very closely at this time. Looking at some shares in the retail sector, ShopRite, still between the green, the purple and the downward side here. Now take note, the rand and dollar sitting at 11.06 after oil came back to the $85 a lot. It lost almost 5% value in the last few days. So the rand and dollar got weaker and it's actually sitting at 11.06 as we speak. So we need to see how it will influence this kind of index as well, or sectors. And there's a bit of a downward spiral there. Looking at your Mr. Price, also in a downward spiral. Got a bit of support here at the bottom. High, lower. To break up, it needs to break this high here of 206, 207 to go higher. Currently trading here at 204.77. Looking at Willys. Willys came physically down. Got a lot of support here close to the 68.45 levels. Current trading range is 68.45 and the next one is on the top here of 71.34. Going to the banking shares. Now came down, sideways pattern, tested this 156.88, broke the middle Bollinger Band upwards, trading at 158.55. Now the big question is, can you move higher and go back to these highs here? You need to track it very closely. Standard Bank also still in the downward spiral or channel. Got support here at 61.8% on the Fibonacci's. Currently low at this moment, 127.45. Trading at 129.17. Need to see if it can break this highs of 150 and go higher. Levels to be tracked is about 131.65. If it can break this middle Bollinger Band, you can see upward movement happening. Looking at your telecommunication shares, MTNs came down to the 61.8%, moved up to 243 Rand, coming down close here to the 236 levels. Big question is, can you break this 239 level and start moving higher and break the 240 on the middle Bollinger Band. Vodacom downward, got a lot of support here at the bottom. Big question is, can you start moving, break to 127.33 levels, and the next high is about 128, currently trading at 126.55. Imperial. Now, as we discussed, Imperial yesterday broke through the middle Bollinger Band upwards, went to the 180 after the previous low was 168. Next high of expectation is close to the 185, currently trading at 181 at this moment. So let's see how the markets perform. A lot of volatility, a lot of news in the market still do, and earnings reports on the S&P 500 will be very important to follow in the short term. Traders, enjoy your trading.